So obviously one of the roles you're most known for is voicing Megara in Hercules. I'm curious, like, how did you get into voice acting?
So I'm a Broadway actress. So
Right.
I was Belle on Broadway at the
Right.
time, and they were auditioning for the next animated feature, Hercules. And it had been a while since they'd had an actress who was both the singing voice and the speaking voice.
Right.
So they went to the Broadway community, but they would not let me audition because Belle and Meg are very different. And so I just begged and begged and begged and begged. And finally, just to shut me up, they let me audition. And I think that's when they realized that as Belle, I was acting, but Meg is kind of right where I live. I am just innately sarcastic, and my voice is a little bit lower, and I ended up booking the job. So lucky.
I know you've done a lot of voice acting since then. Who inspires you as a voice actor?
Oh my goodness, so many different people. Honestly, my good friend Tara Strong, who's here, because her voice is so versatile. I've had the chance to voice, I don't know, like maybe 10 characters, but they kind of fall into two different categories of, like the mom, the soft mom voice, or kind of the sarcastic Meg voice. But Tara's able to do so many different things, and it constantly surprises me, like the fact that she was, the Little Mermaid's daughter, and then she's Raven. It blows my mind. So I have a lot to learn still.
Yeah, and you mentioned obviously being Belle in Beauty and the Beast. Obviously, I know that was the 25th anniversary this year. What does it mean to you? Obviously, that was like one of the first ones on Broadway, but now obviously there's been so many Disney shows on Broadway since. Like, what does it mean to be a part of that whole world?
Right, so Beauty and the Beast was my Broadway debut. I originated the role of Belle, but it was also Disney's Broadway debut. And it's been 25 years, and to see the legacy that Disney on Broadway has had, it's a total honor to have been a small part of that premiere production, and to see its success and how Disney has literally changed the face of Broadway in such a positive way, and because of their success, encouraged other movie studios to come in at a time when Broadway was kind of dying out, and they made it popular again. They made it hip and cool, and then on their own Disney Channel doing things like High School Musical and all of these other things, making it cool for kids to sing and dance. It blows my mind. I adore it.
That's awesome. And I know obviously another role that you're most well known for here at cons is your role on Steven Universe. I'm curious, how did you get involved in that world?
So Steven Universe came around in such an interesting way. I had done an animated movie called Ahmed Saves America with Jeff Dunham, the comic who plays Ahmed, and I played the mom. And they were looking for somebody to voice a character on this new series, Steven Universe, and the same producers recommended me to Rebecca Sugar. Well, it turns out that Rebecca was a fan of Hercules, and so she approached me and just said, at the end of the first season, I just need you to say one word. Would you ever come into? I'm like, I'll do anything you want. Like, sure. Had no idea what Steven Universe was yet, but I voiced the character of Whale. And Whale, of course, was this sort of precursor to Rose.
Right.
And she says, but you'll be back next season. I had no idea what Rose would become and the impact that show would have.
Right.
And I literally feel like I won the lottery because I so believe in what the show has to say and the message it sends out, and how lovingly Rebecca sends that message out.
Right.
That it's just, literally I feel like I won the be-all, end-all contest of all contests.
Right, yeah, and talking about obviously what the show means, I mean, people talk all the time about how much that show has impacted people's lives. I'm curious, like, what is the response been like that you've heard personally to that show?
So Steven Universe and really Rebecca Sugar, they're voicing concepts about where our world is going, and she's able to articulate it. She's able to anticipate the need for that message and then deliver it, not by shouting and screaming, but in this envelope of Steven Universe, and with such joy and love and acceptance. And I have literally met people who were having self-identity issues that this show has helped them with. And I mean, I don't want to overstate it, but I know that sometimes when you're in that state, when you're a teenager and you're trying to figure out who you are, and there's nothing that represents who you are out there, to find that representation in Steven Universe can give them the confidence to move forward in a positive way in their own life. It's amazing.
And so I'd be remiss if we didn't ask. We love Broadway Princess Party at our website. And I'm curious, how did you get involved with all of that?
Okay, so Broadway Princess Party started out as this quirky little idea that Benjamin Ravala had.
Of course.
To gather all the princesses on our night off, and on Broadway that's Monday night.
Right.
And what if we got all the princesses from all the different shows together in a room and we just sang the entire library of princess songs? We just all thought like, well, that sounds like fun. Like, why wouldn't we do that? But it was supposed to be this one-off, just a goofy thing to do, like because we like getting together. And then it resonated, like Steven Universe has resonated. The message, and so we formed a company. So Benjamin, Laura Osnes, Courtney Reed, and myself, we formed Broadway Princess Party LLC to take this global. And the message is that we are not there as princesses. We are there to celebrate these characters that we got to play for a short time. But now it's your turn to be the princesses. Come in cosplay. Come as Jasmine. Come. We had a guy dressed up as Elsa with a sign that said "Let it bro." Like it's so
funny.
Great. And that trucker with the tattoos has an inner princess, and that mom who hasn't had a night out in 2 years with her newborn, it has an inner princess, as does the young girl or the young boy or the college girl or the guys from the theater department. Everybody has one, and we want to unleash it and pass on the message that you can accept everybody and celebrate each other. And in our industry, we're pitted against each other all the time. We're auditioning for the same roles, or they want to hear some snarky comment from me about Emma Watson in the live action Beauty and the Beast, and I don't have a snarky comment to say. I think she's beautiful and brilliant, and Laura, Courtney, and I, with Benji, wanted to take that statement public. We're not competing against each other. We're here. We get to be here tonight and celebrate each other, and celebrate our differences. And you like these songs? You sing them. You sing them with us. And that's where the party comes in. It's a celebration of these characters.
That's awesome. What's your favorite song to sing at Broadway Princess Party?
Okay, so there's a couple things that I love to sing. First of all, I love to sing anything with Laura and Courtney, and Benji's arrangements are amazing. And so we sing Million Dreams from Greatest Showman, which is not a princess song, but the idea of it is so right in brand. And I love just singing with them. I also love singing Let It Go, which is a song I fought against because I have to sing it a lot for symphony concerts. But singing it in 3-part harmony when it's not about an ice queen, but more about like a mantra for the world, like let it go. Like let's just be together and be one. I love that. But then I also like being like the evil mom, and I get to sing Mother Gothold's song. And I get to pick on Laura Osnes, who in that scene plays Rapunzel. And you know, we don't often get a chance to pick on Laura Osnes because there's nothing to pick on because she's so perfect. And so it's nice to get to be mean to her. That's just fun.
That's awesome. And so my last question is, our website's called Talk Nerdy with Us because we all have some kind of inner nerd. Talk Nerdy with Us.
Talk Nerdy with Us.
And so I'm curious, what is something you are currently nerding out about?
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to have to come right back.
Okay.
Hi, I'm back. So I know that I am a princess, and I know I get to do all that, but my daughters are not into princesses at all. And the truth is, I probably wouldn't be either because I am a total sci-fi nerd. And so I walk around with things like this, and nobody really knows what it is until they get close, and then they realize, oh, you're a Star Wars nut, and that is true. I think Rey is the be-all, end-all of everything and anything. And I even had an artist at a con, she drew a picture, I wish I got to post it. She drew a picture of Megara as Rey.
That's so cool.
Yes.